As a bishop, Diocese of Asaba and wife, Right Reverend Justus Mogekwu and Mrs. Teresa bowed out of service after 11 episcopal years. The Archbishop, Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria, His Grace Most Reverend Dr. Henry Ndokoba, has urged the House of Clergy and Laity in the diocese to remain peaceful while seeking God's face in prayers for a successor. Primate made the call at the Thanksgiving service in honor of the retired bishop and wife at the Cathedral Church of St. Peter, Bishop's Court, Asaba, Delta State Capital. ACNNTV Asaba reporter Austin Azo has the details.
And Mrs. Theresa Mogekwu head at the Cathedral Church of St. Peter, Bishop's Court, Asaba, Delta State Capital, marked the end of his official 11 years episcopal assignment as a bishop, Diocese of Asaba. Archbishop, Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria, His Grace Most Reverend Henry Ndokoba, who eulogized the retired bishop and wife for their stewardships, urged members of the diocese to remain peaceful while seeking the face of God towards a successor. The primate, represented by the Archbishop of Benden Ecclesiastical Province, His Grace Most Reverend Serene Udetem, said a supervisory bishop will be appointed very soon to oversee the diocese until a substantive bishop is enthroned, just as he handed over the diocese to the diocesan synod secretary, pending on the appointment of the supervisory bishop.
The primate will appoint a supervising bishop for the diocese of Asaba.
Earlier in his sermon, the retired Bishop Mogekwu, who shared his 11 years of his episcopal services and experiences, appreciated the House of Clergy and Laity for their support towards his ministry. The Bishop Emeritus, who also marked his 70th birth anniversary with Thanksgiving, attributed his success to God and wife, Mrs. Theresa Mogekwu, on what the diocese achieved during his time.
I've just finished one sector of the war. God is taking me to another sector of the war. So wherever God takes me, I will rejoice. And even if it means laying down my life for the souls of men, I'll be able to do so.
The House of Bishops, who eulogized the retired bishop and wife, extolled the virtues of the Bishop Emeritus Mogekwu, saying that he was an erudite preacher and a quintessential teacher of the Bible.
It takes the grace of God to retire in good health and peace of mind.
And I think the legacy is leaving behind is what emulating.
And even among us in the episcopacy, is a very, very jovial person.
Some clergy, who describes the Bishop Emeritus as epitome of humility for leading the diocese for over a decade without blemish, urged him to continue in his service to God and the society even in retirement.
He's also very humble. He's humble and passionate about the ministry.
He's a man that is filled with the Spirit of God. He's unassuming.
Some laity, who paid gloomy tributes to the Bishop Emeritus, commended him for molding their spiritual lives throughout his tenure as bishop, just as they wished him and family well in their future endeavors.
It's nice. He knows people from whom, doesn't discriminate. In fact, he's a wonderful man. It's a God gift to the Ogwashu community.
He's such a nice man. But my prayer is that God will continue to uphold him, strengthen him, no matter the battle, no matter what comes his way.
Retired Bishop Justus Mogekwu, who was enthroned 10th January 2010 as Bishop Diocese of Asaba, retired 15th December 2001 with his wife at the age of 70. The diocese now looks forward towards another bishop in the nearest future. For ACNN News Asaba, Austin Azu reporting.